What is up, my friends? You are most welcome along to Monday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. During today's video, I'm going to be discussing the conflicting reports that are coming out around Liverpool's summer transfer business. Not only regarding the players we are or are not interested in, but also about when the squad's going to be fully assessed and when we can expect Liverpool to dip their toes in the summer transfer window waters. That and lots more over the next 8 to 10 minutes. We, of course, would love to know your thoughts. Once you've watched the video, please feel free to let us know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy it, and of course, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. This evening, myself and Jack Gill are going to be recording another episode of the Anfield Agenda podcast. That will be coming out tomorrow, so don't forget to check all your podcast apps for that one. I hope that you enjoyed the first couple of episodes. Tonight we're getting a little bit more serious. We're going into the transfer business in more detail. Until then, let's get going. So, Gonzalo Inacio, reports again conflicting depending on who you read on this situation. One thing that is starting to become clear is that Liverpool won't be paying the release clause that's in his contract, and that to me is a good thing. You've often heard me speaking about Gonzalo Inacio and saying that one of my biggest fears is that we end up paying 20 million more than we needed to. Well, this report coming out of CM Journal said that Liverpool are expected to make a formal offer for Sporting Lisbon centre-back Gonzalo Inacio, 22 years of age, in the coming days. They go on to say that initially Sporting wanted his full release clause of about 60 million euro, but that Liverpool are looking to come in somewhere around 42 million euro, which is close enough to the release clause that was in his previous contract. If this is the case, and of course it's a big if, that's not too bad. I'm absolutely fine with that. They do say that Liverpool are expected to come in with a cheeky offer of about 30 million euro to start with, but that would be the opening of the negotiation according to the Portuguese outlet. So let me know your thoughts on that one, and if you're like me and you think Mark Gay is the obvious answer at centre-back, I'd love to know that as well. Now, a couple of stories today about young Stefan Bajcetic, and all of them painting a picture of a young man that has a bright future. This one says there's little appetite for Bajcetic to leave this summer, despite plenty of clubs showing interest. The Liverpool transfer activity over the last two windows could change, but Bajcetic's future, that remains fairly certain at the club. That's been backed up by the hope by Liverpool's coach Arne Slot is that he will have Bajcetic available immediately. The midfielder has enjoyed a productive summer working on his fitness and durability and is ready to hit the ground running. That's all great news, and look, I'm a big fan of Stefan. To have him back available, it is amazing. It is one of probably those few occasions where I will utter the phrase, like a new signing, because this kid genuinely will be like having a new signing back in. That doesn't excuse the lack of transfer business, and I'm going to move on to that in a second, but I am a big fan of Stefan Bajcetic. Just 300,000 euro was the fee we paid to Celta Vigo to bring him in, and I'm looking forward to having him back and available for the new campaign. Now, this piece that I'm about to read out now, I take absolute problems, headaches, pain in the backside from. It said, no major incomings or outgoings are muted over the next fortnight. There is likely to be a familiar look to the squad when they finally are all back together the week leading up to the friendly against Sevilla at Anfield on August the 11th. 1 week before the Premier League kicks off. So what they've done here in this piece, and I think you know what article or what outlet it comes from. Let's just say they're Liverpool based. Let's just say that if I was in a cave and I shouted really loudly, I might hear a certain something. Anyway, they say that we can see a familiar look to the squad. What I hear is another couple of weeks will have gone by, whereas we're getting closer and closer to the end of that transfer window, and the checkered flag for FSG, the holy grail of not having to put their hands in their pockets. This whole thing about having to assess the squad, I just don't believe for various reasons. Most importantly, he won't get a chance to fully assess his squad. As this piece said, first friendly or last friendly before the first game of the season is the only time that he's going to really have them all together. So we're supposed to believe as rational people that Arne Slot's going to assess all of that squad and get all the transfer window business done before the season gets underway, or at the very best a couple of weeks later when the window closes? It doesn't make much sense, does it? And also on top of that, we've been repeatedly told that Arne Slot isn't going to have a say on the incomings and outgoings at Liverpool. So yes, he needs to assess his squad, but remember, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, they were the ones that were taking charge of the transfer business. So what are we waiting for? We don't need Arne Slot's nod. We know who isn't good enough. That isn't going to change. So start moving on the fringe players and getting some business done. Now, speaking of that business getting done, again, lots of conflicting reports around Liverpool's interest in Takefusa Kubo from Real Sociedad. Fabrizio Romano reporting on it said, I'm not aware of anything really concrete happening around Kubo and Liverpool. I've seen the reports, but I'm told there's nothing close or imminent. That's at odds with what Lewis Steele has said, crediting reports in Japan, saying that Takefusa Kubo is close to joining Liverpool. Lewis Steele does in fact say that those are a little bit premature and that Arne Slot wants to assess his squad. The other article I'm speaking about comes out of, I think, Nippon, which is a Japanese sports outlet who say that Liverpool want him to become the successor to Mohamed Salah, to become the chosen one, the next superstar on that right side. But we're just going to have to wait and see. There's no need for us to hang around on this with regards to Kubo for a couple of reasons. Most importantly, Real Madrid will be due a fee of about, I think it's about 27 million quid. Yeah, there we go. If Liverpool paid the 60 million release clause, Real Madrid will be due a fee of around 27 million from that. So Liverpool need to get cracking here. Kubo's available. Let's go sign him if he's the guy. And I'm not saying he is or isn't the guy, but if he is the guy, again, what are we waiting for? The more time he can have with the manager, surely the better. Now, a story that we reported multiple times over the past week or so is starting to gain a little bit more legs. Pete O'Rourke has come out and said that Liverpool and Aston Villa are both keen on a deal for Juventus centre-back Dean Huijsen. Young man we've spoken about many times over the last few weeks. 19 years of age, was on loan at Roma last season. A fee of about £25 million is thought to have been enough to get him at a Juventus. He does have 4 years left on his contract there, so let me know your thoughts on this young signing. He is being viewed as not one to come in for the here and now if we sign him, but one for a longer term look. Right. David Lynch has kind of quashed the rumours that were doing the rounds today. There was lots of talk that FSG were coming back to the negotiating table for Bordeaux, but multiple sources, including David Lynch, have come out to say that FSG sources are dismissing suggestions that they have resumed talks to acquire Bordeaux. They insist there's no change since last week's statement, confirming that no deal will be progressing. Another deal that Liverpool look like they're not going to make, but somebody else has, is a bid for Crescencio Somerville. We've spoken many times on the channel about the will we, won't we, with regards to a bid for him. Well, West Ham United, they've apparently laid their cards down on the table and made an opening offer. Fabrizio Romano reports the club sent an initial proposal to Leeds about signing Crescencio Somerville. So that could be another one that's off the list and off the table for Liverpool. So I've got two more stories to quickly go through, and one of them is about Jayden Danns and a potential deal. Don't worry, it's no long-term deal away from the club, but Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle are showing interest in taking Jayden Danns on loan. Rooney said to be a big fan of the teenager, and who can blame him? He's a goal-scoring machine. And a move to the Championship wouldn't be a bad one. I don't know if Plymouth Argyle are the right fit or not. That's up to the Liverpool team to look at. But I do feel a loan for Jayden Danns makes a lot of sense. So keep an eye on this situation, because he may be teaming up with Wayne Rooney over there at Plymouth Argyle. Actually, I have two more stories. I thought this was the last one, but nope, Craig has two more for you. So here we go. And yes, I did just refer to myself in the third person. Don't worry, I'll slap myself in the face for that a little bit later on. Celtic transfer could be the key to Liverpool's interest in Ederson. I am, of course, speaking about Matt O'Reilly, who has been linked with a move to Atalanta and Juventus, and maybe this is an indication that they're starting to plan for life without Ederson and without Koopmeiners. And to finish up, Fabrizio Romano, speaking about Liverpool's interest in Ederson, said that we remain interested. The 25-year-old Brazilian played 53 games across all competitions for the Serie A club last season. Of course, they won the Europa League, and Liverpool are still looking at him. I very, very much hope that he's the one that Liverpool make a decision to go and sign. No mention of a fee, but I can give you a bit of an exclusive on that one. My indications are that the fee would be somewhere between 40 and 45 million pound if indeed Liverpool wanted to acquire the services of Ederson, which of course I think they very much should. So, my friends, we will be live tonight at 8:45. We'll go through everything in more detail. Looking forward to catching up with you all, as always. I'm off now to record that podcast episode with Mr. Jack Gill, and I very much look forward to catching up with you all later. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, don't forget, less than 2 weeks now till we're in Liverpool and Cardiff, and you can get your tickets in the link below. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.